Hello and welcome to Digging the Coast 365. Why I've even come out today, I've no idea. It is ridiculously windy. It's a joke, man, it's a joke. I can hardly stand up. But I brought you to Lizard's Point, which is the most southern part of Great Britain, mainland Great Britain. That is it. You don't get any further south than that, I'm telling you. I can hardly breathe. Right, I just quickly want to run through the donations received because I'm overwhelmed with it all. It's absolutely amazing. We started off at the end of the last video on £22,529 raised so far. 1 second. Since then, we've raised more money from the following people. Sharon Wild, $30. Alkisak, £10. Larry Chevney. Oh, bear with me. Larry, $20. Colin Wilson, £10. Rick Lipsky, $20. David Smith, $200. Gary O'Neill, £10. Jeremy Brown, $250. James Archer, £10. Erica Craven, £15. There's still loads. Jenny and Chris, my new bestest friends, $1,000. Get in. Mark B, $20. Brian Watchus, $10. John and Jack McNamara, $20. Pat and Shelley, $10. Gary, $30. Brian Little, $100. Zippy Boy, £10. Joyce, $100. Artie, $20. April Corsi, $20. Robert Geezer, $10. We're nearly there. Brian Pearson, $100. And Mark Chambers, £30. In total, we have now raised £23,949. That's £1,420 since yesterday's video. If you add the gift aid on top of that, it actually comes to £25,277.07. Guys, we're halfway there. We've raised more than half of the total I'm aiming for of 50,000. Thank you so much. If you'd like to donate, all the links are in the description. Go to diggingthecoast.com and give all what you can. I'm not going to be doing any detecting today, I can tell you. Woo! What a place. What a wild, lovely place. Buzzing. Come on, get in. I had big plans to tell you all about loads of shipwrecks and some historic stories about Lizard's Point. Magpie, sorry. But it just isn't happening. It's not happening. I'm not going out there again. It is unbelievable. It's warm. It's really nice and warm. But you can't breathe. You just cannot breathe in that wind. Whew. Had to come though. Most southerly point of Britain. So, because of the really bad weather down at Lizard's Point, I've found a museum here in Helston, which is where I'm staying at the moment. And it's fantastic, there's some lovely things in here. Come and have a look with me. You've got a Bronze Age jar there, look at the condition of that. It's huge. That must be, what, 18 inches tall? And down here, you've got a Bronze Age axe head found at Pra Sands, which is where I'm hoping to be tomorrow. Maybe I'll find one of them. And we have a cabinet full of old coins here. Now, if you look at these down here, these are the kind of things I do find. I found all of them apart from a bullhead coin like that. I've never found one, but most people who I'm with have. But look at these over here. Brass counters found in a garden in this town from 1702, and look at the condition of them. There's so many unique things in here. Now, I've never seen these. Finger prayer books from the 1800s. They're tiny, literally about, what, 2.5 inches big. And then you've got some calendars here, 1799. This is what a calendar used to look like. That's 1830s. And here you've actually got a crocodile paw purse. They've made it into a purse. You lift the top up there and keep your money in it. Wow! This part of the world is very well known for making cider. I've not had a drink of cider since I came, to be honest. At this time of year they sell warm cider, mulled cider. I don't fancy warm cider, to be honest. But this is a cider press. This is what they used to make cider with in 1750. This is an original from 1750. Whilst you're having a lovely bath tonight, just think how they used to have a bath. These are the kinds of baths which the dirty Cornish girls used to get into. Imagine sitting in that. They're made out of metal, I believe. Can you imagine how cold the metal must be? This part of the museum's fascinating. They've recreated some shops here. You've got the cobblers with all the old instruments they actually used to use. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe Victorian times or just after. A blacksmith. You've got all the dairy things over here. And over here, I really don't know what it is, I'll be honest with you. It is the Serpentine Turner. I don't know what a Serpentine Turner is, but I just read on a sign, I think they used to make like railings and gate posts and obelisks and things. I don't know. I've never heard of or seen anything like these before. These are traps for human beings to stop poachers from the 1700s. That's from the use of man traps and spring guns was made illegal by Parliament in 1827, but this was to stop poachers. They'd literally set them out to catch human beings. Can you imagine being trapped in the teeth of that? And this is a gun which, if you break the wire, it would basically turn towards the wire and fire along the line of the wire, shooting you in the leg. How barbaric. This place is fantastic, guys. You need to get yourself here if you're ever in the area. Helston Museum. Free to enter. Just leave a donation. I'm just in the toy section at the moment. You've got all these prams. Like a pram from the 1930s there.
Well, what used to happen, if I remember rightly, we used to spend our time trying to crash it. No, you told me that.
Now this bit's really interesting because if you remember I stayed with Danny. Danny says he has, I don't know what he's done. Danny's a lawyer and he likes to put his fingers into all kinds of things. He actually has the right to create some kind of Cornish currency, he was telling me. He can legally produce a currency for Cornwall. I don't know how it works, you'd have to speak to him about it, but some of that is some currency specifically for Cornwall. These are quite beautiful. Victorian greetings cards. Now, Mother, if you're watching this, I know you will be, Mother, there's your Christmas card because I forgot to send you one. There you go. It's all handmade. It's over 100 years old. It's better than a cheap tacky one from the, you know, the chain store, isn't it? There you go. That's one shell I've not come across on this trip yet. I didn't know it was called a cowrie shell. I called them tiger shells. But yeah, I remember I used to buy them in Cornwall, but I don't know if they're actually on Cornish beaches. I hope I do find one. But in here, it's just full of like match boxes and lighters made out of silver. That one there, that is made out of wood. It's original and it's from early 1900s. Look at the condition. Here's a bit of a claim to fame for Helston. If you didn't know this, it created the first ever British World Heavyweight Champion boxer. It comes from here. Okay, we're going back a bit, 1800s, 1897. But from this tiny little village. And there he is, look. He does look quite tough. Some of the things in here are absolutely incredible. Look at this, a pin cushion from 1696. That was made by a vicar's daughter. Look at the condition, that is what, 320 years old. If there's anything I like worse than art, it's children's art. I'm in the children's art section, I think. Either the children's art section or really, really bad adult art section. I'm guessing this is kids. You know, what kind of adult would paint that? If it's a child and they're very young, like 2-month-old, it's beautiful. Any older, it's rubbish. I don't do art, sorry. Well, they've made a mistake there because it says on the sign that is a chemist's mixing cylinder. But I can assure you that's what bingo callers used back in the 1970s. That's something you don't see every day. A two-headed piglet, which was stillborn in the 1960s, which is being preserved in some kind of liquid. How strange. If you're really old and you're a girl and you're not washing up at the moment, which you should be really, if you finish that you should find something else to do. But if not, you might appreciate this. It's lots of dolls from like 100 years ago and stuff. Just reading here that mermaids are a big thing in Cornwall, and if you go around the churches and things you'll see a lot of mermaids depicted on the pictures. And this is quite a sad story, look. This is victims from the wreck of the Mohegan, buried in a mass grave. Look how deep they've done that. That must be 10, 12 feet down, and all the people looking over. So here's a very good map of Cornwall to show you where we are up to. This is where I was with Danny in Plymouth, and then I came round here to Polperro, my favourite place. I stayed in Bodmin at Jamaica Inn. And then, where else did I go around here? I went to Mevagissey, I went to Lou, and then I went to stay with Lee in Truro. I'm now staying in Helston, and I've taken you to Falmouth yesterday, Lizard this morning, and now I've gone back to Helston, and this is where this museum is. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to go to Pra Sands to do some metal detecting, but I definitely want to see Pra Sands. I definitely want to see Marazion. I don't know how you pronounce that, but you don't pronounce it, Marazion apparently. And I'm going to be staying in Penzance. I'm booked into a hotel for, I think, 3 nights, and then I think I'm going to book into a youth hostel there whilst I do the rest of this area, before going back and then staying with Lee again. We even have a cabinet here with Egyptian things in it. Seriously, this museum is amazing. It's free to enter. It's hardly mentioned if you look up the area. And it's just full of fantastic things. You've got an Egyptian lamp there. And I'm in a school now. I don't know how old this school is. I'm guessing, I don't know, early 1900s or something. I'm in a school. Does anyone know what this is or remember it? Yes, it's an abacus. Now, if you do remember that from school, it's because you were really thick and in the thick class, because, you know, most of us had computers, but the really thick kids had to use one of them. It's just a different way of counting for thick people. As we've got a map of the world, once I've done my 365, I'm already trying to think of what I'm going to do after that. I've had a few ideas. I quite fancy going to the Amazon, metal detecting down the east coast of America, Canada, Australia, some kind of, I don't know what, I'm just telling you the places I'm thinking of. Something in Africa, probably South Africa for safety reasons, or the Philippines. I've had a genuine offer for a month or two in the Philippines metal detecting. Or Vietnam, that's something else I want to look into. But yeah, lots of ideas for when I finish this trip, but no decisions made yet. This is a Norwegian ship called the Gunvor, which struck Blackhead on the Lizard in 1912, which is where I took you this morning. It is one of the most dangerous parts in, well, probably in the world for boats, and very well known for shipwrecks. And this one wrecked off Pra Sands, which is where I'm planning on going tomorrow. This is from 1905. Right, for me American viewers, you're going to love this one. A silver dollar. And this is old. This was found on a wreck in 1807 here in England. And it's dated, I can't quite make it out, but it looks like 1764 to me. You don't get much older than that. I've just been having a chat with the people who are running this museum, and they're so happy for me to be making a video and putting it on YouTube, which is so rare for museums. So it makes my job easier. I feel more comfortable filming in here, and you know, it gives them some publicity. It's a free museum. People, honestly, this is one of the best I've been to. People need to be coming here. But yeah, it's so nice to have open permission and then be excited to see the video themselves tonight. I was looking forward to seeing this lady here, Granny Boswell, a fortune teller, known as like a local witch in her later life. She was here and she died in the workhouse here in 1909. A fortune teller, and here we are at a funeral. Look how many people came from far and wide to go to a funeral. I think I should be presented with one of them when I've finished this trip. A silver spade. You know, just put some inscription on it like Deep Digger Dan did his best, raised some money for charity, and we think he's great, so we're going to give him a big block of silver on a spade. And here you have all the old-fashioned printing presses. Now, my dad was a printer, a very skilled 4-colour printer. Not many people who can do that, you know. And he used to work for Waddington's, if you've heard of the games by Waddington's. And they used to make playing cards. And he was one of the last people who could work a 4-colour printer. And I did a bit of printing myself at one point. But nowadays, computers have taken it all over, and there's just... My dad ended up having to get some menial job in a post-sorting office or something. Which is a shame, because it is a very skilled job, and it certainly was back in these days. Some really, really old irons there. Most of them are like late 1800s, early 1900s. Something for the ladies. I'm sorry, I know I keep being sexist about things like this. It's all in jest, it's all in jest. There's a piece of wood there which was found on a beach near here, Porthleven Beach, after a storm. Comes off a shipwreck. Nobody can ever tell which shipwreck, but why can't I find something like that on the beach? Something very interesting about this place, Helston, is once a year they celebrate something called Flora Day. and even the museum shuts on Flora Day. The whole town, I believe, just shuts down, and there's like big celebrations going through the town. Nobody's fully sure where this all stems from. It goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, but legend has it, it is Saint Michael on the 8th of May is said to have fought with and thrashed the devil here. Probably not true. It's probably not a true story. But yeah, they celebrate this every year with massive processions down the streets. I'll just show you a few pictures, it's wonderful. So here you have a picture from 1907 from Flora Day, or it used to be called Fury Day. I think they call it Flora Day nowadays. But this is a picture I wanted to show you. This is from 1955, so you've got your general crowds at each side of the streets and people dressed up beautifully. Look at these. And I think they did like a little dance down there, I'm not sure. And then up here, somebody has actually painted the event. I'd have loved to have come to one of them. Certainly back in the olden days where they were all dressed up. I don't know what it's like nowadays. I'm presuming it's like a bit of a gala day. Wonderful. I've shown a lot of these in the past, but there's a death penny, I think they called them. Yep, the death penny, which were sent to the next of kin when somebody died during World War I. And it's got his name on. I didn't realise they put the names on. Thomas Pickle. So that was Helston Museum. Probably the best free museum I've been in on this trip. Absolutely fantastic, lovely, friendly staff. And free. I left a nice little donation for them, they deserve that much. Get yourselves there, guys. Right, thanks for watching today on Digging the Coast 365. Tomorrow, I'm hoping I'm at Pra Sands metal detecting, and then we're off on to Penzance tomorrow night. I don't know if you're going to be watching this on Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day. It depends on me editing. But yeah, you take care, keep the donations coming, and have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Catch you all later. Bye-bye.
If you'd like to donate to Rays of Sunshine, simply click the link in the description below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.